So welcome back to another YouTube channel. I'm here with my guy.
Hi guys, the name is Okushe Zono, sommelier here at Jordan Restaurant.
Okay, so I have a special video for you guys today. I got a wine som, an actual one. He'll be teaching you guys the ways how he started and how to become a som and all the steps
Yeah.
and everywhere like you should go studying the websites and everything. Here's the guy you should question. So first thing I ask you, what inspired you to be a som?
Oh man, it is actually a very beautiful story. It takes me back to my background. I actually got into the wine industry essentially living in Stellenbosch, being born and bred in Stellenbosch, around the Cape winelands, surrounded by vineyards. But more importantly, my grandfather and my grandmother used to work in hospitality. So that's what led me to actually study wine. And I think I actually did the right decision.
Okay. So like was it always an instinct from child or was something you later discovered growing up?
I mean, being around the winelands, it was always there. But when I was when I started out first, I did a course as a tour guide.
Okay.
So being a tour guide actually led me to being in the industry and also being surrounded by a lot of friends who are actually also in the wine industry.
Okay. So like what are the benefits of being a wine som?
Sure. Benefits of being a wine som, the first thing is you actually get to understand and know what you're drinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like for someone like myself or perhaps the viewers
Yes.
who doesn't know anything about wines, like how do we get on that road? Like how do we start?
So there's a lot of platforms that you can actually go through. I'll mention a couple. Primarily, I went to Pinotage Youth Development Academy. I graduated there, but there's also different platforms. You'll find there's WSET with different levels from level 1 to level 4. You can also go through Sommeliers Association, South African Sommeliers Association. There's also Sommeliers Academy. There's also a Paragon. So there's different platforms that you can actually go through, but all of these platforms actually people are committed because when you study or you pursue them, you actually have to pay for the courses. So also a matter of investing in yourself and also
Yeah.
investing in your future.
Okay. So like with the wine som and everything, like what are your top five like soms you look up to and you wish to meet one day?
Sure, I've met a couple
Okay.
of from my top five, but I'd say one of the some of the people that have inspired me. I don't know if it will be five. So there's this one guy who owns Sommeliers Academy, Jean Vincent Vidon. He's one of the best sommeliers there in South Africa. And also there's this other sommelier who is the head sommelier at Marble Cape Town. His name is Vickers Human. So those are just a couple of people that I look up to. And also there's this other guy who goes by the name of Bafana Zondo, who's also one of the best sommeliers here in South Africa. Also, not forgetting another sommelier by the name of George Young, head sommelier at the Dusk Restaurant in Stellenbosch.
Okay, wow. Quite a profound list. So like what does the salaries of a wine som vary?
They differ, and also they will differ because if you think about it, not all establishment will pay you the same.
Oh,
So I think it's more based on where you work. But I'd say from my experience, salaries will always range from something from 6,000 up,
1,000 up.
depending on where you're working and also what position that you're working in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question, where do you see yourself in 5 years in the wine industry, the som industry?
Oh, that's a nice question. I always ask myself this question. In the next 5 years, I see myself having won the competition as South Africa's best sommelier, South Africa's best young sommelier, and I see myself flourishing in the wine industry. There's nothing that I'm more about than
The
being a
wine.
sommelier and also being in the wine industry.
Okay. So like if for any of our viewers there who wants to pursue wine and become a wine advisor, but the parents are holding them back, what advice do you have that they should?
It's simple. No, no one's. I mean, people can try and tame you, but You have to fight for what you want,
what you believe in.
what you believe in, and if you're really committed to something, and make sure that you do it. I mean, your parents can hold you back. At home, I come from a Christian family. When I said I'm studying wine, they were like, "Why are you studying wine?" I was like, "I'm really passionate about it." But now, looking back, and also I've made them proud in a way. I've graduated. I now have a stable job. I'm able to do things at home. So if you believe in something, fight for it.
Okay. Up with this like the Psalms, right? Like the Psalms, like how do you connect? Like how's the community?
Yo,
For
that's
instance,
all.
like the practice and how do
That,
you
that
guys
that's a
do
nice
that?
that's a nice question. As sommeliers, there's always one event. For
Okay.
example, if you're a member of the South African Sommelier Association, there's always wine tasting events. And also, if you go to wine.coza, you'll always look. There's always updates of wine event. So we get to meet and things like that. And also, there's trade tastings where we get to taste these different wines. And also, farm hopping. When you farm hopping, you always meet a couple of people that you know. And the wine industry is big, but it's very small. One thing that I also should advise, when you get into the industry, the way you behave is very important, because everyone knows everyone.
Oh, okay. So how many wine farms have you worked for?
I've worked for I've worked at Arsenal. I'm working now at Jordan. I've worked at Rustenburg Wines, but I've also worked at Culture Wine Bar in Cape Town. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so like I heard something in wines like this, these grape
Yeah.
varietals. Care to explain what that is, all that stuff.
So as we all know, there's grapes.
These grapes, okay.
But with grapes, there's different types of grapes. There's grape, they all have different names, and also they all look different.
Okay.
You'll find that there's one of the most common grape varietal that we have in South Africa, and one of the most planted varietals here in South Africa is Chenin Blanc. Yeah. And also, on the red side, you'll also find there's grape varietals like Cabernet Sauvignon, Shiraz, Syrah. So they all differ, and all have play a huge role in your end product or what
In
you're
product.
looking for. Yeah.
Just like in your own words, like what do you think is the best way like to produce wine? Like to make a wine, like if you were to make wine from scratch, like what do you think would be the best way to do it?
Um,
Yeah, seen that Joe. Yeah, yeah.
I'm a minimal intervention kind of person. I love wines that have minimal intervention, that not a lot has been done to it. I would rather let the grapes express itself.
Okay.
For example, there's one of my favorite winemakers here in There's a couple, but there's a guy by white winemaker by the name of Chris Allight. Um, as one of the people that are here in the industry, like I look up to. This guy makes 6 or 7 different shenanigans. So you can guess, you can already have an idea of how invested he is to make
Yeah,
one varietal, but differently. So
yeah, that is impressive.
it is impressive. Yeah.
It is impressive. Okay. Thank you for your time.
All right. Peace out, peeps.